life on other planets? Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you like to think about it for a second?
Oh, not really.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose it would be.
No, he seems definitely. You seem definitely. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes,
Where was
definitely. At Lane Cove,
When was this?
1953.
You don't think this is a figment of your imagination?
Several other people with me saw it.
You all had the same figment. What did it look like?
It was standing up there still,
Just suspended in space.
with colours coming out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've got a big smile on my face for two reasons. Standing behind me is the most impressive Baur I personally have ever driven. I love this car. And I'm excited. The second reason why I'm actually excited, I get time to shoot content. It's been a bit of a crazy week with the shop opening up and us trying to find ourselves. So we didn't have a chance to shoot some content for you guys, but I'm happy we finally got time. You guys can see it's a little bit late in the afternoon / early evening. It belongs to a customer. We're going to be running a series throughout the restoration process to show you guys how we're going to restore the car. I want to actually do more of that so you guys can learn some tips and tricks when you are restoring your own cars, and also to show you how we do things. But more so, I think from all the Baurs I've driven, all the Baurs I've owned, this is not mine, it belongs to a customer. Like I mentioned, this is possibly one of the nicest Baurs I've ever come across. It needs some work, but the way it drives is absolutely amazing, guys. But if you guys want to see more, stay tuned. Okay, now you guys heard me say Baur. Let me explain to you guys the difference between a Baur and a pillarless. So in South Africa, we were never fortunate enough to get the station wagon E30s or the E30 full convertible, which we know, or we call it the E30 pillarless. South Africa was blessed with the Baur edition, and the Baur edition in certain countries like the UK is super rare. So they love our Baurs, we love their pillarless, and it's a match of a muchness. So I want to show you guys and explain to you guys exactly what the Baur terminology means. So you have your two-piece roof, you have your top section, which is called like a Targa top. A lot of the Porsche 911s have this type of a roof setup where this piece pops up and it slides into your boot. I'll do a bit of a demonstration in a bit. And then you get your back section, which is basically your Cabriolet or your convertible section. That is known as your Baur. Now, where the term pillarless comes in is, if I show you guys on Chulo, the Baur has the pillar, the full convertible doesn't have the pillar. But, and something that a lot of people don't know, right? You can't, I actually get asked this question a lot of times. Can you convert your normal E30 into a pillarless? Yes, you can, but there's a lot of reinforcements and fabrications that you gotta do in order to get your car like this. So for example, I want to show you guys the differences, right? So your Cabriolet works a little bit different and has a little bit different features as compared to your normal E30s and your Baur, which I'm going to go through now with you guys. So your back seat is different. Your back panels are different, which is a much larger panel in order to house the window mechanisms, etc., to go down. Another notable aspect is that your roof panel, and I call this a roof panel, I'm not too sure of the name. So your back panel piece actually flips up and your roof folds into it and this closes. So that's your convertible E30s, right? So you guys learned something on that. Now look at the back seat, look at the back panel. I want to show you guys the back seat and the back panel here. So you can see the difference. Your door panel is not as big as your Cabriolet, and your back seat actually is much bigger. And like I mentioned, the reason for that is obviously there's some strengthening there. Your door panel is bigger to allow your complete mechanism for your roof to open. So your back panel on a Baur is different, purely because there's a lot more stuff that needs to be housed into the back panel. For example, the complete unit that opens your roof cover, your window slides down completely, so you need space for your window mechanism, etc. And also there's some strengthening, I won't say bars, but BMW strengthened your chassis and stabilized it, and I'll show you guys the difference now. So another notable difference, come have a look here. I want you guys to have a look at this section, which is your inner carpet trim, and look at the thickness of your inner carpet trim. This is a normal E30 inner carpet trim, right? On the South African spec models, your 4 doors, your ISs, etc. Let me show you the difference on the pillarless. So look at the difference. So this is one full complete piece. This is a reinforcement from BMW, obviously to stabilize the car because you don't have that pillar, and this is known as the pillarless. So I hope you guys learned something on that. When we talk about the engine bay, I'll show you guys some of the engine bay differences. There is a bit of a reinforcement to stabilize the car, but more because of the roof. I mentioned it earlier on in the beginning of the video. I really love this car. It's possibly one of the nicest Baurs I've ever seen and driven. And let me explain to you guys why I love this car so much. So the gentleman in question got referred to me by a very good client or very good friend of mine in Bloemfontein, and brought the car through, just purchased it, and decided that he wanted to do some work on the car. And I took him around, showed him the workshop, showed him some of the work we do. We had a nice conversation, and car was booked in, and now we're about to do the restoration. But the more I look at this car, the more I appreciate it, because there's so much selling points on this car. And hopefully you guys will learn what to look for when purchasing a car. So let's start with the back of the car, right? So whenever you purchase a chrome bumper E30, this is known as your chrome bumper E30 with the small tail lights. The car's overall bumper condition, the valance condition, the side beadings is going to tell you a story about this car. So for example, the bumper in the back is almost near perfect. A lot of the times you'll find that a lot of chrome bumpers come with tow bars. Now I had this conversation with the client. My perception of why a lot of them come with the tow bars is because back in the day people used to either travel with the cars towing trailers, etc. But if that was the case, you would find that your rear shocks would sag more than your front shocks because there's more weight in the rear of the car. So this stance of the car is very good. So it tells me that I don't think the car was used much for towing. I do believe that the tow bar was put on to protect the rear of the car. Now you might be thinking, Chip, protect the rear of the car. A tow bar, someone driving, knocking into you, your tow bar will prevent the back of your car from getting damaged, or it will minimize the damage on your car. So I think this tow bar helped this car retain its originality in terms of its bumpers. So that's a very good selling point that I want you guys to take note of. Also, it's got a prestige plate. So your prestige plate is your plastic black piece where your number plate goes onto. We put a Chicanos plate here just as we were doing the shoot, but this is a very nice selling pointer in terms of this car, because you hardly find chrome bumpers with the original prestige plate on. Another common problem on your chrome bumpers is that the clip that holds your rubber tends to give up after time. This one here is in very, very good condition with minimal wear. The bumper does need some sort of alignment, but we'll address that in the restoration. Other than that, from behind, the car looks absolutely amazing, and I'm very impressed with the condition. Another cool thing that I love is the tail pieces. Your 323s came up with this dual tail piece. So already, if I'm a buyer, and again, I'm the type of buyer where any business transaction in terms of buying a car, buyer needs to be happy, seller needs to be happy. In Islam, when both parties are happy, we refer to it as the transaction will have barakat. Barakat meaning blessings. So if you sell your car for a price that you're happy with and the buyer buys the car for a price that they're happy with, there's blessings in that transaction. So that's how I try and buy cars, and that's how I would advise you guys to try and buy cars. But again, everyone wants to score a good deal. But for me, we're looking for reasons why we must purchase this car if I was purchasing the car. So again, your back tells me a story. I want to show you guys the magic in the boot. So it's got its toolkit. I love the toolkit. I even love the smell of the boot when you open it up. It's got that distinct smell that I always tell you guys that I love. So original toolkit. The only thing that's missing is the clip here to tie it in. The board is the original board. You can see it's worn, and also your boot light works. So that's a selling point for me as well, right? Now, I mentioned to you guys that the Baur roof actually comes off and goes in. I'll do a demonstration now for you guys so you guys can see how the roof works. Now, guys, whenever you are purchasing a Baur, there's some stuff that I want you to look at, right? So your interior roof liner tells a very good story on whether you have the original roof on or whether the roof was replaced. Nothing wrong if it was replaced, but the more original, the more better. Or the more original, the better it is for you in terms of the work that you need to do and also the type of car that you're purchasing. So make sure that you have a look at what material was used. This is the original factory roof liner material, which I absolutely love. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to take the roof off. So this piece here is very important. Don't ever buy a Baur without this. Although if the Baur is good and this is not there, you can still find the part, but it's very, very expensive, very scarce. So in order to take this roof off, it's got the two latches here with the press button, and then you got your two latches here. This, believe it or not, these parts are available brand new from BMW, so you can purchase them. And a lot of the times these things tend to give up. The material that's used here is pewter. It's an old school material, was used in a lot of old school cars, especially for sunroof pieces. So if this breaks, it's very difficult to re-weld it. You gotta get someone that's able to weld pewter, and that's very, very difficult. So you can buy these clips from BMW brand new. So now we need to drop the back of the top. So you undo the clips and that's your back section drop. Now you're rolling, boss. Then, if you want a little bit of sun, or not a little bit of sun, if you want a little bit of air, you can almost help. And then your Baur top actually opens up for you to get some air. Now the nice thing is, guys, you can also completely remove this. So it's got the two clips that you press in there, and you're rolling in a full convertible, guys, just with your pillar. But now, guys, we have a problem here. The roof is off. Where do we put it? Because now you want to go on your cruise and there's nowhere to put your roof. But BMW, being BMW, was super talented, and they manufactured a component and a bracket for you to put the roof in the boot, which I'm going to show you guys now. All you got to do is you can slide your roof in, and there's your roofing. You can also use this area to still pack your groceries, etc. But Bob's your uncle and you can go cruise. How cool is that? Now, I mentioned stuff that you must look out for. This is super important because this is your main component to locking your roof and opening your roof. So make sure that the Baur that you buy has this and it's in very good condition. But once again, BMW does sell a lot of these parts, so you can definitely get these parts from BMW. And this is an original BMW Baur roof cover, and this is how it works. So it's got the buttons that pops in here. Cool, simple process to remove your roof. One person can do it. You obviously got to know how to do it to figure the nick and the trick of it. But again, another cool selling point is that the roof works perfectly, and also the car comes with the original roof cover, and this roof cover sells for a lot of money in today's times. I've seen them go up to about 5,000, 6,000 rands for near pristine ones. So you want to make sure that this is a selling point on your Baur, or if it doesn't have it, then you know you need to negotiate on your price, because ultimately seller buyer needs to meet so the deal can have barakat. Let me show you guys something else that I'm impressed with. So coming back to the buying points and the talking points of this car, you might have noticed the beading is missing on the car. The beading is in the car in the boot. When we do the paintwork on the car, we will definitely be putting the original beading back. So luckily the car has it. So selling point for me, and I hope you guys can see this, original jack, and also the original clip to hold the jack that you hardly find on E30s today. Another telltale sign that this car was very well looked after is the condition of the original carpet, which is what we are going to retain on this car. We will give it a nice clean up, but we're definitely going to be retaining the original carpet in the boot. Original spare wheel as well. It's got the locking piece for the spare wheel. You guys can have a look. Also a very good selling point. Most of the E30s don't have that. 318, 316, 323 and a 320. Batteries are all in front. 325 battery is in the rear. The nice thing about E30 is everything is interchangeable, so you can put the battery in the back of the car, but it depends what look you're going for. Do you want to keep the car original, or do you want to add a bit of your flavor? And that's simple things that you can do. So 323, original petrol rubber, original petrol cap, right? I want to show you guys something else that I love looking at. Look at the condition of your beadings. This one's got a little bit of a kink in it, which is understandable because of the age of the car, but look at the condition of the beadings overall. It's not bad. It's got a few scratches, which some you can polish out, but ideally I would never replace this because the beadings are pin straight and in very good condition. So that's a selling point or a negotiating point for you as well. When you hear people talk about numbers matching is pertaining to a lot of stuff. So for example, your disc or your license disc or your registration papers will have your VIN number and your engine number. So your engine number must tie in with your vehicle registration papers. So if the engine number on the tag, the shock tower, the disc and the paperwork matches, it's a numbers matching car. But also your windows, all having original windows, is a numbers matching car. So that's what people refer to when they say numbers matching. So it's the way the car came out from the factory without anything being changed. Now I wanna talk to you guys a bit about the color. So the car currently has a henna red paint job. This is not the original color of the car. When I take you guys through to the engine bay, I'll show you guys the original color. But let me take you guys through to the interior and show you guys what I love about the interior as well. Now the interior is very clean, very nice. The previous owner did change the seats and redo the seats. This is a vinyl material. The instruction from the current owner of the car is that we need to redo the seats. So I'm going to be redoing the seats in a genuine leather with the factory double stitch. So this has got a single stitch. We're gonna do it with the double stitch, which is according to the OEM standard. So black leather, not vinyl. That's the direction we're going with. Other than that, this interior is near perfect. Door panels are in absolutely amazing condition. There's no need to change the door panels. Dashboard has a few cracks, so we will be reconning the dashboard and fitting a replacement unit. But again, something that you'll notice on a 323, it's got your clock. So this is your digital clock. The 318s came with the analog clock, and the 325s etc. came with the onboard computer here. Again, E30 you can interchange the parts, but this is something that I'm sure you guys never took note of. So when you want to, or actually for the purpose of you doing research, Google 325, Google 318 and see the differences, and you'll see what I'm talking about. What I love is the car's got the factory radio as well. It's so nice to come across a car that's got so much originality in it, you know. And again, the type of work that we're going to do on the car is obviously painting the car the correct color, which is a different shade of red, redoing the seats, sorting out some minor mechanical stuff, you know. So we're going to be tidying up the car. Oh yeah, and doing the roof as well. But it's stuff that I don't mind doing on a car like this because we're not customizing. So we're just basically getting the car back to a much better standard than it currently is. Interior lights in good condition. Sun visors are in absolutely amazing condition. So this car's got a lot of good going for it. Now you'll notice the steering is different. Some of these cars did come with this type of steering. You would get the 333 steering, you would get this steering, you would get the MTEC 1 steering. But that was just at the time what was available for these cars. So interior wise, we're not going to do much except replace what's broken and also just update it a little bit. But again, a very distinct smell on this car compared to another E30, and that's what I love about these cars. Let me take you guys to the engine bay, and I want to show you the difference between the pillarless and this car. Okay, now we come to where the magic happens, which is the heart of the car, the engine. Very original engine bay. Guys, this motor is dirty, but it's very original, and I'm going to show you guys why I say it's original. So now I want to share another tip with you guys. So sometimes you would find that your VIN number would be stamped on your left hand side shock tower. Certain E30s, your VIN number is stamped here by your rain tray. It just depends on which car you got, which body you got, and also the way they did it at the time. But if you don't see numbers stamped here, don't get a heart attack. Make sure you check your rain tray to find the VIN numbers, and you will 10 to 1 find the VIN numbers. I mentioned originality. So seeing a 323 chrome bumper, and your chrome bumper the radiator is different from your plastic bumper, but seeing a chrome bumper radiator with the original brackets and the fan shroud is absolutely amazing. Most of them that you find, because cooling issues are a problem on the E30s, so a lot of guys don't put this back, but to see this is really absolutely stunning, and it tells me that this car was definitely looked after. Now you'll see points on the engine bay where you'll see yellow paint. That's your torque marks from the factory to say that this bolt was torqued according to specifications. Now we mentioned color, right? The original color of this car is ruby red metallic, not henna red. Ruby red metallic is a beautiful color. This is how it looks. So we are definitely going to be taking the car back to the original color. Mechanical wise, she drives absolutely amazing. Needs a little bit work here and there, like a service, etc. So we will be giving the car mechanical attention, and obviously changing the water bottles, the clutch fluid bottles. Two ways to paint your engine bay. You can remove all the stuff on the side and you can paint, obviously do a flat, repair and then paint the sides of your engine bay. The problem with that is it's very difficult to get into the corners. Some clients, we give them two options. Mr. Client, do you want us to remove your engine and paint your engine bay? Do you want us to keep your engine in and paint a portion of your engine bay? Depending on the client's budget and how far the client wants to go, that's when we make the decision on whether we want to remove the motor, etc. In this case, we are going to be removing the motor because we want to correct the color on the car. Normal standard, changing the bonnet foam, cleaning up where we need to clean. But overall, very original car with a lot of its original stickers. It's even got its headlight covers, which is stuff that I look at. So if I had to go and see this car, I would most definitely buy it because of all of these selling points. So Mr. Client, I don't know if I can mention the client's name, but he wants to remain anonymous. So this client, in my opinion, bought a fantastic E30. This was no doubt one of the best buys that I've seen personally. Also from the price perspective that I know he bought the car, so he did extremely well. I want to show you guys the front now. So again, bumpers in very good condition. The only things that need attention is like you get those clips that come here, BMW does sell it, and also the beading. So when you buy chrome bumper indicators, it comes complete with this piece and the indicator, and obviously you can put the lens, but we need to obviously work attention on the beading set around it. We're going to be also sourcing a set of fog lights. Chrome bumper fog lights are super expensive and very difficult to get, but luckily we know some people and we'll be able to source a set. The original spoiler is near perfect. It's in fantastic condition. The valance will need a little bit of straightening, but that's something that we are going to do. Overall, fantastic car. I wish that you guys were with me when I drove this car to experience it, and I'm very excited to document the process and the restoration of this vehicle. So looking forward to it, guys. I mentioned earlier that your shock tower is a little bit different on your pillarless models versus the normal models. So have a look at this section here, right? So this is on your normal 325s, not the Cabriolets or the convertible, the pillarless. So due to the car being a full drop top, this is a reinforcement for the car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I went into a lot of detail because I kind of wanted you guys to experience how special this car is. And I also hope that you guys are learning throughout this video, because again, I'm a passionate car guy. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect in Chicanos, but at the end of the day, we love sharing our passion with you guys, and I hope you guys can see that I'm passionate about cars in general. I love E30, like E30 is like E30, guys, but you know, again, it comes back from my knowledge, sharing with you guys, you know, and also maybe you guys know something that I don't know. Comment down below, because we're learning from each other. And I'm looking forward to documenting the process on this build. Channel's been doing amazing, guys. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. We started posting content last year, February, and we're already on 17,000 subscribers. All thanks to you guys. So a massive round of applause for you guys. And to put the cherry on the cake, or the cherry on the top, guys, we've hit over 1 million views. Like seriously, that is phenomenal. The channel is doing absolutely amazing, but once again, it's only doing amazing because of you guys, because you guys are supporting us, showing us love. So please don't forget to get everyone you know to subscribe and share, because we want to bring you guys more content. And of course, our champions that are commenting continuously and interacting with us, you guys rock. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Going through some of the comments, reading what you guys are saying, it's really humbling. So thank you so much for that. It's a motivation factor for us. And hopefully we'll be hitting 20,000 subscribers in the next few months. And we are actually projecting by end of the year to touch 2 million views, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you so much for showing love and supporting us. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Normally, depending on what the clients want, we either remove the engine bay. We can't remove the engine bay, chop. We can remove the engine. Of the name flips off, flips off.
It's the Afrikaans coming
Yeah,
out.
Afrikaans. Flips up. Allow your complete mechanism for your roof to open and your window mechanisms. I feel like I'm DJing. Huh? I'm double clutching like